Here we go. All the things that we have seen. Where do we start? Well, let me first get set up here. Not that I wasn't already on. Yeah, so we got all systems go. Yeah, I'm still wearing it strong. I'm not a fair weather fan. I won't be that. I'm going to rep it until it cannot be repped anymore. I am Coach Malik Hall. This is Catch Up with Coach. And so this is your Monday morning recap. Yeah, I didn't see nothing you didn't see. Let's start there. And so I want to open it up with a Happy New Year. And I hope everyone looks forward to the year 2023. That's all I can say to that. Yeah, so we gotta cover some NFL today. We got a lot to cover today. A lot happened. But we gotta start off with Michigan TCU. What did they do? Or what didn't they do is probably the better question. So many things on my mind. I got a list in front of me. Will I even hit any of the things on the list? Who knows? So out the gate, love the opening drive that Michigan put together. I love the fact that they were aggressive. I love the fact that they were being deliberate about running the ball, getting McCarthy easy throws. The first drive was beautiful. And then on fourth down, they go trick play in the red zone. It's one of those deals. Like, to me, run the trick play on first down then. I'm like having PTSD. All right. Final was 51-45. 51-45 with Michigan beating on the door to win, but didn't get it done. That was the first drive that just had me like, what are we doing? I'm trying not to be critical of the coaching staff. Michigan is one of the few staffs that I've had close people to me, coach there. Shout out to UMass. Shout out to Coach Donnie Brown. He was in their first playoff run when it all folded against Ohio State. So right now I don't have any people on Michigan staff. So because of that, doesn't mean I can go super hard at them. I'm not. But I am being honest about what I saw. And the pressure of a game can have you feeling like, I got to do some things new. I got to prove why I'm here. And though Coach Harbaugh is getting a lot of the grief, which may or may not be deserved. We're not talking about that yet. We'll get to that on the back end of this. Players got to play, but coordinators got to put players in position to make plays, period. I've called some crappy games in my day. I swear to goodness I have. On everything I love, I've called some crappy games. I've been on the big stage where I've called some things that I wish I could get back. Like, I really do. Like, so I'm being critical, but I'm acknowledging my fault and how coordinators can overindulge their schematic and intellectual approach to this game, opposed to just letting their players be players and not putting them in compromised positions. I know it may seem like it's easy, but it's not. You have 100,000 people around just going nuts. Everything leading up to that game, all of the film you've watched, everything. Now, I will say this. Michigan came out the gate making a whole lot of unnecessary comments, in my opinion. Like, hey, if they stay in this 3-3 defense, we gonna run it right down their throat. First off, whether they say I'm a 3-3 stat guy, okay? So whether you go, oh, that would have fired me up. That would have fired me up if I'm the TCU defensive coordinator. Because I'm not about to change my whole schematic approach because I'm playing Michigan. I may have to get out of some things because I'm playing Michigan, but Michigan is being very vocal about the TCU defense and about how they can get pushed and run the ball all through that defense. Now, social media, once again, becomes the demise of a quality team. Because this all happened and occurred on social media, right? Because players are watching the film, right? And as they're watching the film, they tweeting what they think. Because everybody has a comment on social media. And so, we get to the game, and the first drive looks like Michigan doing what Michigan said they were to do until they got too cute. You see how I got my political hands too cute, like my George Bush and Al Gore, too cute. Okay? It's just too cute. Excuse me. All right, so Michigan got too cute. The second drive, don't say, hey, let's reinforce that we're the big mighty Michigan and just line up in 22 personnel, 12 personnel, and just run the ball, play action the ball, throw a little power pass, throw a little drags, but just keep running the ball, right? Instead, they throw a pick six on a quick out. So now the game is 14-0 out the gate to the Dome. Bang. So now, in my assessment, we've put the game in, again, look, McCarthy has to take his ownership on it. Like, it's a 3-step throw. You got to throw it blindly. But before you throw it blindly, you got to confirm that the coverage is going to be conducive to the 3-step on that side. So whether it was we drilled it this way, hey, when we call it 1, 2, 3, throw the out. TCU probably drilled, hey, when they go 1, 2, 3, just drive out. Because we didn't see that quick out. Since we didn't see the quick out again. Okay. So now we 14-0. And shout out to my man, Earn, Champ. Shout out to my man, Mixon. They all said Michigan don't even trip. Michigan go regroup and they go play Michigan football and they'll get this done at the end. And I'm like, man, y'all made me feel confident. I feel real good now. Like, and not because, look, I've coached the game. I've coached in some big games. I would argue I've coached in some way bigger games than they played and coached in. But, like, they make money on this for a living. And so the fact that they tell me, like, okay, all right, I'm with it. I got it. So Michigan gonna be straight. And so what do? We come out in the second half and we fumble. Now, I gotta address this, the fumble on the goal line. Great pass, by the way. Great pass by McCarthy. I'm like, they still like airing this thing out clearly because he throws a 45-yard seam, okay? And he had 2 ill-advised throws on that drive, but the seam he threw on the skinny post, boom, kid catches it, falls on the 1 into the end zone. We all thought it was a touchdown. They challenged it, replayed it, and they put the ball on the 1. All right. So now here's where my grief, here's a part of the coaching issue I have right now. We're on the 1 yard line. We line up in a favorable formation, all of that. We line up exactly how we want to line up. And we don't give the ball to DE. We don't give the ball to Donovan Edwards. We try to keep a kid. I don't know Roman. I don't know Roman Wilson. Number 30. I don't know him. And yes, he did score a touchdown in the game. But to me, like when I talked about, hey man, show your players some love, get them in, have them in certain packages. This was his package. He's probably a sophomore, and he's debating the transfer somewhere, probably to Indiana. Who cares? Who knows? I'm reaching on this hypothetical. And so he's in at fullback, and they're running a version of belly dive. First off, he doesn't even have his hands right. I'm not even going to speak to the technique flaw of it, but that's the first mistake. Like, if he's getting the ball, it should be here. Get it open so the ball can fit right there, okay? And as he closes it, boom. He's kind of like this. He's kind of trying to cup the ball. That's the first issue. Second issue, like, your dog running back is behind him. He had 23 carries for 119 yards. He didn't have 1 touchdown. And on the opening drive, you deferred on him not once, but twice. And then in the second half, you defer on him. Now, I don't know what the relationship with Edwards and the coaching staff. He probably was hanging out all week. Who knows? I don't know. I can't speak to that. All I can speak to is that's the horse. Now that Corm's not there, BC2's not playing. Give it to Edwards, man. Instead, we give this Roman Wilson a shot. And Roman, bro, I love you, bro, because you on the home squad, but you got an opportunity and you bumbled it and fumbled it. And that cost us. So now we're essentially, it's 28-3. We only got a field goal at this point. That's how that looks. We come back and get another field goal. So now it's 21-7. Now, here's what I will say. The Michigan team they gave away 14 points. Really, they gave away 21 points. And so I'm almost certain that they could have beaten this team by 10 to 14 points. The word coulda is a squib. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, if, and buts. And that's all that happened in this game. That's it. They were overconfident. They didn't really bring the Michigan juice. Like, here was the number one thing I noted when they finally got in the end zone. Michigan is notorious for having all of those Michigan helmets in the end zone, slapping hands. They didn't do that. That was a major flag on the play if I'm the juice coach, which I am. Let's be honest. Like, they did not do what Michigan did. They had to do what Michigan does and do what Michigan do. All of the grammatical error on this. My point is, look, Michigan is, if you've ever seen a Michigan highlight, when they scored, they're all in the end zone getting money together, celebrating together, pouring juice together. That did not happen. That was the first flaw. Second flaw, The coordinators flip now. We go flip. Once the offense got rolling, the defense started doing too much. Like, chill, homie. Play cover 4. Chill. Let your 4D lineman overwhelm this TCU offensive line. No. We bring in blitzes out the wazoo. Okay, if I blitzed myself out of some games too. So I'm acknowledging it. And I haven't coached in the Big Ten. Okay? That be the point. I saw double edge pressure. That came out for probably a total of 75 to 100 yards, because that's how many times I saw it. I saw arrow weak or away from the back. I saw that probably 10 times. That gave up probably 65 yards. I saw them get in exotic packages in the first half. The first half, like, for whatever it's worth, they only gave up 1 touchdown, but they were bleeding yards with all of the exotic pressures, which really wasn't doing anything but letting the Red Rifle get sorted and get money running the ball. The kid didn't even have Dugan didn't even have any planned runs. All of his runs was basically scramble drill. And so, like, I don't know. And so he already had thrown 2 picks coming out of it. So in my mind, I'm saying, look, just keep playing coverage. He didn't throw the picks because of the blitz. He threw the picks just because he's not great at being in the pocket. What he is great at is improvising and inspiring the team, because something breaks down, and when it breaks down, he turns a frown into a smile and a first down. That's why I'm saying don't let him become magical. Let him use his arm and let your D-line earn their dirt this week. That's how I feel, right, wrong, or indifferent. And because of it, Michigan loses. And they lose. I'm not even going to talk about the poor clock management part. Yes, they could have called a timeout. Like, there are a lot of things you could do if, ands, and buts, but I'm still suggesting, timeout or not, they're in a position where it can work out. All they have to do is hold the line. The defense didn't get the stop. That's the bottom line. And so, whether or not, look, am I a fan of Harbaugh? Yes, I am. I'm glad that we held out, and I'm glad that we held the line to re-sign him and keep going and keep plugging away at the Michigan product. I am. But if I had to be quite honest with you, I think he's exhausted. I think the department may be exhausted. I think the bread is gone stale, and we all knew it was going stale. This was the last meal we could have probably cooked with this bread. And I'm being genuine, because I love Coach Harbaugh. I love what he's done for the program, but I'm speaking from a coaching perspective. I don't know that I can hold this line any longer than what I have done already. Not only can I not hold the line anymore, like, I bleed the blue, I bleed the gold and blue. Like, he bled for it. And so the fact that he bled for it, and now he has to be in a space where people are talking ill about him, like, yo, man, I'm about to hit it. Let's go back to the league. Let's go back to the NFL. Look, it's not a money deal. It's a love deal. I want to continue to have love for my program. And I'm pissed. I'm pissed we ain't get it done. I'm pissed that my offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator was on one. I'm so pissed. I'm pissed for my family. I'm pissed for these players. I'm pissed for the administration, because as a head football coach, you are asking a lot of everyone. And you can only ask so much at such a high level. and it not pay off. And people just are exhausted, tired, fatigue, mental fatigue, emotional fatigue. Like, look, I'm fatigued as a fan. My father, who passed away the year that Harbaugh started to get it rolling, he was like, look, if he don't get it done the year that he passed away, he didn't get it done. They lost to Ohio State. And I'm carrying his Michigan torch. And I'm exhausted for Harbaugh. I'm exhausted for him. And the reality is, there's nobody we probably go bring in that's going to do better than what he's done. And that's the reality. Because, like, he built this thing so big, to tear it all down and rebuild it, it's the only way. It's the only way to move forward. Now you got to find a person who can rebuild it, but rebuild it with patchwork and construction work, like not tear it down, stifle it, and hold his line, and hold and relieve people of the pressure that he put onto them. Now, that is a psychological nightmare, if you ask me. Been there, done that. I don't know that I would sign up for it because the program peaked. It peaked at its highest point. And what do you do after you peak most of the time? You go downward. He has to stay for this to work out. He has to stay for this to work out. And I'm not sure that emotionally and physically, emotionally, he can hold another year of this. I really don't. I really don't. And so because of it, I wish the Harbaugh family a happy new year, and I expect Harbaugh to not be in Michigan anymore. It'll be a sad day for the Michigan fan base and an exciting day for the Michigan fan base, because now we have something that we really can go off of and say, look, this is Michigan. Like, you can recruit any coach you want now because of what he's done. Any coach you want, you can find him. Do you want him? Do you want him? Do you want the NFL guy? Do you want the sleeping college guy? Like, because, like, you got to replacing coaches is like replacing a personality and a family and everything. It does not happen with ease. You need a credit. And then here's the thing. Here's the one thing I will admit. You have to go the other way. Like, Harbaugh was a strategic and, like, quiet monster. So, like, now you probably need a gentle giant in respect to who he was. You need to go on the other side. Period. For every coach every program that I have left, like, I had no expectations, and I sat in on 2 interviews of programs that I was exiting, and I was able to interview my replacement. I was not looking to replace me with me. I was actually thinking, look, they need something completely different from me, not even similar. And so every program that I've been with, I don't expect them to replace it with a Coach Hall juice. They got to go find something that's completely different, but, like, has all of the components in which they want in that position and in that leadership. That's where Michigan will have to be, because I just see Harbaugh going to the NFL. The Broncos already called him. Like, this is not a matter of money. I think this is a heart decision. And I think his heart is aching. And I don't know that you can do another one and not get it done. Because to me, I think this was the one to get it done on. BC3 going to the league next year. Williams probably going to go to Edwards is probably going to go to the league this year. Like, this team is going to be dramatically different. I will be hard pressed if both coordinators if he's even able to keep both coordinators. Climbing a mountain at any level is difficult. And when you get to the top of the mountain on a stage like that, you can't even exhale in front of anyone, because once you exhale, it's like, oh, like you got to exhale in front of thousands of people. I've cried after every critical loss in my life. Every one. I've had to interview with tears in my eyes on one. Every one. And I've cried in almost every win. Almost. I'm a crier. What do you want me to say? But I definitely cried in every big win. Because it's a release. You have to hold this thing for 16 weeks. 16 weeks. You got to hold and sustain a level of standard that you created as a program, as a family, as a ball club, as an administration, as a coaching staff, as a locker room. And as you hold that line and you get to the mountaintop and you don't do it, man, to be honest with you need therapy to come off of that type of high. The elevation is that high. You need therapy to reconcile how did we f this up. So that if you are truly gonna move forward, what Michigan, whether you're a player, a coach, everybody has to have some resolve and reconciliation. I know I bumbled the word, but you have to have some resolve, and in that resolve, like the reality, the game is moving too fast for them all to resolve, because now they got part 2 signing day coming around the corner. And if you think TCU, Georgia, Ohio, everybody approaching their second round of signees now. Why? Because they lost on the biggest stage. And how long can you go in your professional career and not exhale in moments that you need to exhale? Like, now we got to go on the road. Now we get on the jet to go and rectify with any family that to confirm and reaffirm that, look, I'm staying at Michigan. Whether that's true or not, he still got to do it. Like, how long can you go just keep sweeping stuff under the rug emotionally? Like, unfortunately, even wins. Did you see Nick Saban? Did anyone watch Nick Saban in the post game? This man is miserable. He like, look, I need to exhale privately. Like, he didn't smile one time. Like, he's like, I'm over it already. I gotta get on a flight. I want to get back to my family. I want to love on them. I want to see my grandkids. And I only got 48 hours to do that. And then from there, I got to get back on the flights to do whatever speaking engagements and recruiting home visits I got to do. Like, it didn't stop. And that was as evident in watching Nick Saban's post game. I know I transitioned, but I'm only transitioning to stop. I'll be back later this afternoon to talk a little more college football. We'll get into some NFL. Today is the recap Monday. I'm going to recap everything today that I can recap. So this is Catch Up with Coach. Check you later. Until next time, you are caught up right now. Peace.